Aya and UC in the place to be. We're my convo queens from the front to the back. You know what I mean? Aya, what we talking about today, girl?
Hey, you guys. So today we are talking about the strong black woman must die. We got to kill her. We got to let her go. We got to let her go. First, I do want to shout out because I got some beautiful shirts today for Juneteenth, getting prepared. So this is one of the shirts, Emancipation Freedom Juneteenth, with my little Afrocentric lady on here. And this shirt was customized by J and E on Facebook. So if y'all need anything, like she can make any vision, your artwork, your child's artwork come to life, and she'll send you the mock-ups and they look all nice and professional. And the t-shirt is very good quality. Hit her up on Facebook, customized by J and E on Facebook. Now, like I said, y'all, we are talking about the strong black woman and how we got to kill this chick. Like she got to go. We got to throw her away. This new generation, we got to let her go. We got to let her die. So I'm going to start off with this little poem. And actually, this is a paper that was written by my daughter. Her name is Samaya. She's a high schooler. Shout out, because I'm pretty sure she threatened me and made sure I said that it was her paper that I'm getting this from. But the
Yes,
poem is written by a lady named Lainey Mataka, and it is called "The Strong Black Woman is Dead." She wrote this poem on August 15th, 1999 at 11:55 p.m. to be exact. That's in the poem. And it says, while struggling with reality of being a human instead of a myth, the strong black woman passed away. Medical sources say she died of natural causes, but those who knew her know she died from being silent when she should have been screaming, milling when she should have been raging from being sick and not wanting anyone to know because her pain might inconvenience them. She died from an overdose of other people clinging to her when she didn't even have energy for herself. And that's the poem. So, what I want to know, especially now, especially for us millennials, because I think we're of age now where we're coming into our own self and we're starting to realize a lot of things as we are mature women now. How do you identify with being the strong black woman, and do you still identify with that? Do you still think it's good, or like how has your feelings evolved over around that?
Okay, so when it comes to the strong black woman, unfortunately, she's not dead. Not in my immediate environment. Not with the women that I see have to function from day to day. Not in my personal life. I would say that when it comes to the concept of the strong black woman, um, she's pulled out every time um, some type of trauma happens, or sickness happens, or life changes happen, or the fact that, she is hurt. So I would say that in my life, right now, if I would be honest, I am functioning under the strong black woman.
Oh, goodness. So, like, do you think that embodying that, right, is kind of like our go-to defense mechanism in a way?
Yeah, I feel like it's a defense mechanism, because a lot of times there are certain circumstances that have happened in a black woman's life that makes her go into survival mode. And when she's in survival mode and she wants to cry and break down, she, a lot of times when she turns to people, especially the type of woman that always seems like she's well put together and she gets through any obstacle that she encounters, then people will say to you, hey, you
Mhm.
know what, you strong. Listen, dry them tears up, pick it up and keep it moving, because you are a strong black woman. You don't got time to cry. You don't got time to be sick. You don't got time to fall down and break down and give up. Pick it up. And
Right.
therefore, it suppresses the emotions that are healthy.
Hmm. Right. That part. That's the part right there. And I read like researching, like, I mean, I don't think we specifically as Black women need to necessarily research this topic at all, but researching the topic and reading certain articles, that was what was repeated over and over again. And even in this essay paper that my daughter wrote, suppressing our emotions, stuffing down your emotions, um, self-silencing was the key. Like self-silencing your emotions was another big word that I seen repeated over and over again as I was researching this topic. But for me, yeah, I would say it started out because you're raised this way. It's like it's just something that's kind of passed down and carried down either through you just watching it or seeing it present itself in the women that is raising you, or either verbally being told that you need to be this and this is what you need to be. But yeah, we definitely get it from our being passed down. At first, being my naive self and not being self-aware as I am now, I thought that was a great thing. I thought that was just I seen somewhere that was a badge of honor and pride to be considered this. Like you wanted, like you aspire to be. Like if you ever known that stoic strength of in your family, like the matriarch that held it all together, it was like she was what all the other ones aspired to be. I want to be like her. Like I want to be that strong, right? So I took that on like it was a good thing. It was a positive thing. Like I didn't see in the ways that it was harmful until I got older. And hindsight is always 2020. And then you like, oh yeah, I get it now. So now that I see it differently, I just try to be conscious of it. And the unlearning process is hard, like to unlearn and unact, like not be that or let somebody else handle it, but you can see the building on fire and you just wanna just like, I know what to do. Like I can just do that. I could do it better. Like I let me do it. I can do it. But it's just falling back or learning to express yourself and your emotions, because we're always told, especially as Black women, that our emotions are invalid, that nobody cares to hear us whining and cry, or if we do show an emotion or express ourselves, it's always, oh, why are you so angry or bitter, is what we get told for just having basic human emotion that everyone has. Like I can't be mad, I can't be angry, I can't be sad, I can't be anything but calm and happy and okay all the time. If someone asks you, it's like, oh, I'm doing good, I'm okay. I can't say I'm overwhelmed, I can't say I'm stressed out, I can't say any of those things. So now it's like learning that it's okay to say those things, and it's okay, those are not negative on your part because you're feeling this way. So that's how I see it now.
Well, I think that when it comes to this, like a lot of times, some women they literally need help.
Literally.
They need help, and they are too prideful or don't want to appear as weak or like they can't handle their children, their family, their finances. They will put on this front that they are unbreakable
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when they are dying inside. It is so gut wrenchingly painful that they find themselves alone and in a depression because they can't truly break down and be vulnerable with anyone because they always have to put on this hard exterior. And the truth about the matter is, yeah, it was taught as a badge of honor to be strong and unbreakable and you hold it together and you the rock
Mm-hmm.
of the family. But guess what? Don't nobody want to do that.
Child, especially not no Black women. We
No,
are
nobody want to do
exhausted.
that.
We are so
Tired.
exhausted and tired.
Listen, if you could fall back and know for a fact that
Girl.
stuff will be taken, that life will be taken care of for you and you would be fine, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, think about the days when you were a child and your parent told you, listen, you better enjoy being a child because you
Yeah,
know
oh
what, when
yeah.
you become a grown up, you got to pay bills. The way the world's gonna be on your back and on your shoulders, and you're gonna wish you were a child again. I understand every syllable and word in that comment that my mother used to tell me as I was coming up, because I realize now, especially if you find yourself, especially single mothers, who don't have the support of the fathers of the children, or don't truly have support of their families, or the people who were in a relationship and have to figure out how to fend in the world by themselves. And guess what? There's no plan B. There's nobody to fall back on. If you fail, you just out in the cold with no blanket. Okay? So I just think that, what can we do to be okay with saying, like, listen, I am not strong today.
Yeah, be okay with not being okay. Like I said, that's the challenge. That's the challenge. I feel like in some ways I identify with the strong black woman, of course, because I'm like raised to be independent. I handle my business. I take care of paying the bills. So in that sense, absolutely. But I don't know, like in certain senses, in certain instances, I've always kind of also rebelled against this trope, even though I didn't know it. Now I know, I understand it. But even in moments where I didn't know that we were kind of set up to take on this strong black woman stereotype, I still kind of rebelled against it because it was just this underlying unfairness of it all. Like, why is it all on me? Why can't I fall apart? Why can't I lay on my floor and have a full blown temper tantrum and cry if I want to? Why can't I not have it together? And then someone like me, like I just been lots of times I ain't had my shit. I did not have it together, or I've done did something real sporadical on the spur of the moment type of thing. And it's like, you got them kids, they'll be fine, and they were fine. Luckily, they were fine. But I think get we have to kind of get comfortable with talking and telling others what we need or that we are struggling. In that it's okay to struggle. I feel like we see our shortcomings, or we see struggling as a bad thing, as if other people can't already see that you are struggling anyways. It's like, some certain people, you can see that they're like, you can see it. So if it's already obvious to all of us, like, just reach out, just let us know, just ask for the help, instead of I got it, I got it, I got it, when you don't have it. And I think that's a problem too, because we do it to ourselves, we do it to each other, because we're so harsh and critical of each other. So it's like, I'm not about to come around her and let so and so, I'm not about to let them or the family see that I'm struggling, or that I need this, or that I like, it's the pride that's gonna kill us. It's the pride.
I think one of the things that I find, once a woman takes on that strong black woman role, it's like she don't know how to turn it off.
Mm-mm.
And she don't want to turn it off for her family. She don't want to turn it off for a man. Like, she's overstepping, doing too much, not letting the man help her when she does have one in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like, I want to say emasculating him, because like they just feel like they just
What am I
so
here for?
independent. Yeah, like, it's like, if you don't need nobody, nobody can help you. You always have it together. Like, that's not healthy.
Right.
Everybody
And
needs
then,
somebody.
especially when it comes to relationships, when it comes to relationships, especially, that is to our detriment, and it is not helping our cause, because not only was it placed on us, and passed down, men also perpetuate the stereotype. Because I don't know how many freaking times I've been seeing a guy post, my mom was the strongest woman I known, and I love me a strong black woman. Like, and now when I see those posts like that, I cringe. It just makes me just. I cringe about it, but I see them post that all the time. I see those portraits, and those make me cringe too. Now I see those, and they're beautiful paintings. They are. I'll see those portraits, and they'll be like, the woman is on the front lines, and she is like saving everybody behind her. Like, this is a whole lady. This is a whole woman. Why isn't it a man at the front lines? It's us at the damn front lines. What is going on? Like, with that picture. So I see that a lot, and it makes me cringe. But what happens is, when we are like these strong black women, hyper independent, fierce individuals, like you said, it's gonna make them look at us like, you don't need me. And also it's gonna make them look at us like we are not worth protecting because you got it. You protect yourself. Or we don't need somebody, a guy to take care of us because, oh, you Miss Independent. You got it. You could do it yourself. So it makes them look at us and treat us differently than they would a female from another race. Because when we notice some of these black men that do date out and go elsewhere, they treat them different. They get different treatment. And then we're always stuck wondering the why, the why, because they view them different. They view us as these hard rocks. You don't need my, like, you're not feminine. What I really think they're saying is that you're so, like, that hyper independence, and your refusal to allow, or to, let me come in and you be the woman. We can get into how else that other things, but for now we're talking about this strong black woman thing. But yeah, that could be twice. That's because how they view us, even off the rip, they view, if you ask them, how do you view black women versus how do you view this group and that group, it's going to be different. It's like, oh, y'all got it. Y'all so strong. Y'all don't need anything from us. Y'all don't need nobody to protect you. You don't need nobody to open the damn door. You don't need somebody to bring you flowers. You don't need niceness or kindness. We just out here surviving off of gas.
Mm-hmm. And fumes. Okay? Because another thing is, like, some women, they just so strong, they don't even want a man to treat them with their money. I got my own money. I don't need you to do nothing for me. I don't need you to open no door for me. Excuse me. I come pick you up.
The day I say that.
I'm just saying. It's some out here, and listen, soften it up a bit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, I mean, if you get the opportunity to soften yourself up, take the break. Take the break.
Take it. Run with
because
it.
life is this is a cold world, okay? And there is a lot of obstacles that no matter what your education is, your socioeconomic status, your paycheck, there can always be something that can humble you down to your knees. There can always be something. Like, it's just sad how sometimes it feels like, especially when you're a mother or, people who are wife, it's like you never take a moment and take care of yourself. Like, we already talked about self-care one time before in another podcast, but I'm just saying, like, why is it that you're always pushing through everything? I mean, sometimes you have to, and I do understand that, but don't be too prideful to say, you know what, today I don't feel good. Okay, I'm feeling under the weather. I'm not about to get up and scrub from the ceiling to the floor and clean the house. Okay, oh well. How about I can't do a favor for everybody in the family. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I can't, maybe somebody gonna miss an activity because I just can't do it all. I'm working, I'm trying to care for people other than myself. I'm trying to deal with, cater to everybody at work, or, you're married, you're trying to cater to your husband or your man or whatever. Listen, sometimes I just feel like we as Black women have to realize that this badge of honor of being strong 24/7 is not healthy. And we need to just let it die. We need to be like, listen, guess what? Today I don't feel good. I'm tired and I'm not feeling my best. And I just can't do it. And it's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, looking at this article, one thing about the rule, because I'm going back to what you were saying, what can we do or how can we start to change this, is just recognizing certain behaviors that we have and starting to unlearn those behaviors. But from the root article, it was saying, and this is true because I have noticed this, especially over the past few years, that there has been pushback against the notion of the strong Black woman as a good thing. Black women themselves are beginning to recognize that vulnerability and selfishness is an important part of a healthy mental makeup. And it is very true. It is like very important to always take care of yourself and tend to yourself firstly. Now, that part, I will say, I think I got that part. I got that part down. But that is very
Mm-hmm.
important. Like, you have to, like what they always say, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you can't give more than what you got if you ain't got it yourself. Like, you struggling, but you trying to be Miss Superwoman, trying to run and save this person, that person over there, that person, that person. You know, that person, they always like, you know what, no matter what, that person, so-and-so always got everybody. So-and-so always taking care of everybody. But I mean, do y'all realize, or y'all are y'all understanding that maybe so-and-so is struggling themselves and they really don't got it like that to be all to everybody all the time, but y'all are so used to running to that person and that person just don't know how to say no?
Mm-hmm. I
As if
mean,
me saying no, because if you come over here, I'm gonna tell you no. I'm gonna say
mm-hmm.
no. And then I'm gonna be, oh, she don't never like, I don't, because I ain't got it. I'm broke. I ain't got it. I can't help you. Dang, that sucked. Wish I could. No. So that makes you the bad person because you're taking care of you. And that is what gets us every time as Black women. And I get caught up in that too. Like, feeling the guilt of feeling like you can't, or you're saying no, or you got to turn somebody down, or you're putting simply you putting yourself first, you makes you feel bad. And we really have to like think about that. How can you putting yourself first be a bad thing?
Well, my thing is stop telling people when they do get vulnerable with you, or like, somebody call you and they breaking down, maybe they dropping a tear, maybe they sound weak in their voice, maybe they struggling with whatever they struggling with. Stop telling them, oh, you gonna be all right. You
Mm.
strong. Just, just keep pushing. Just don't worry about
Right.
it. Just bury it and keep moving. Like, we got listen, we need to stop doing that to each other.
Because that is not a good solution. That did not solve my problem.
Just burying it and pretending like it don't exist is not the answer. And that is not making you stronger. What it's doing is it's toxic.
Very.
You creating a toxic cycle for you, for your family, for your kids, and people will tell you, oh, you shouldn't, don't break down in front of your, I had somebody tell me, don't break down in front of your kids. Don't show that, keep a strong front in front of them.
Mhm. And
You
there's
know
been
what?
studies that show that that is harmful as hell to do to your kids, for them to never see you have any emotional outburst, like any emotion at all, any moment, any emotional anything. That's not normal. That's like a robot. That's not normal people behavior. And after a while, I think they even begin to realize, like, we never see this lady go through any emotion.
Listen, I know, to survive, um, a lot of times us in our Black community, we couldn't afford to show emotion, right?
Mm,
During, and we're gonna take it back to Juneteenth coming up this week, and we all know what that holiday is about. It's about the last people learning about the slaves were free, and we know back during slavery, they did not have no time to be in their feelings, you know. But now it is 2022, and
mm-hmm.
so many things are still happening to our people. However, us as women, we cannot bear the burden of the world. We can't. Because now everybody else is being told, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. And, it's all these different things that, we are to be aware of when it comes to mental health, abuse, and all these different types of things, right? But what you don't realize is constantly building yourself up like a fortress full of iron with metal around your heart, your feelings. You abusing yourself because you need to sit in your emotions sometimes. You need to have a self-reflection moment and realize, like, you know what? I can't handle all this by myself. That's why sometimes you see people get to very dangerous breaking points where they make some very, very horrible mistakes that they can't come back from because they just bury things and never dealt with it.
Yeah, so speaking on that, since we're talking about mental health, this article right here was saying, let me go and see what they said about our mental health here. So it says, statistically speaking, 58% of Black women with serious mental illness will not receive mental health treatment. Black women are twice as likely to experience an episode of major depression in comparison to the men. And sadly, only half of those women will seek help. And that's crazy. It's a lot, like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure depression is our number one killer amongst us is depression. Absolutely, I can see that. It also says that the superwoman trope comprises of 5 following elements. 1, an obligation to present an image of strength. 2, feeling an obligation to suppress your emotions all the time, which we touched on. 3, resistance to being vulnerable. 4, a drive to succeed despite your limited resources. And 5, constantly feeling obligated to help others. And I agree. All of those things are going to absolutely continue to freaking kill you and keep you in a depressive state. You cannot be everything. Like, it's too much. That's over. That all of those 5 things to me screams overwhelming. But what you said is so true. And you was like, it's toxic. We are being toxic to one another, and we are getting taught how to handle things in a toxic way. And I know our elders or our parents meant well when they was like, just keep on pushing, keep going, you'll be fine. You could do it, you can handle it. Yay. But that's not preparing me and giving me the necessary tools that I need to really learn how to overcome an obstacle in a situation. Somewhere else I was reading, I don't know if it's the book that I have per se, I was reading that what happens is with the suppressing our emotions, not willing to be vulnerable, keep on stuffing it down and putting it like, let me just put this in the back, is ultimately what happens is we learn how to not cope. We don't know how to cope when it comes to obstacles and situations that we face. We have no coping skills whatsoever. Our coping mechanism is fight or flight. You either going to just push on or you're going to fall apart. And since falling apart isn't an option, we just choose to ignore it altogether and push on. That is not a healthy coping mechanism at all.
It's not. And, when it comes to seeking help in the Black community, some people feel comfortable with counseling and some people have been through counseling and they don't feel comfortable with it. So when I say seek help, it's like, if you know that you having a mental breakdown that day, you feeling very depressed, and you don't have nobody to help you with your kids or something, call and ask somebody anyway. If everybody say no, then okay, at least you tried. You know what I'm saying? But like, reach out and try to do something to learn how to have an outlet, And you're right. You don't learn how to cope with things when you keep burying it. Like, that's with anything in life. You just keep on burying an argument with somebody, it's just gonna still be there. You know what I'm saying? If you keep on burying your feelings every time you feel something, it's just gonna still be there. And even when it comes to relationships, a lot of us Black women have been deeply hurt by, relationships. And that's another thing that you always try to put up a strong face about, when you've been hurt by somebody who you cared about or had feelings for, and you just keep on pushing through that and keep trying to, soothe the pain by filling the void by another person or another person. Like, we're not always strong in everything, that we face in life. And I know personally, I have definitely had moments where I was just like, man, this might be too hard to bear now. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think this is literally too much for me. And, thank goodness I had people that I could call, and then they remind me, not people who gonna say, oh, you ain't got time to cry, wipe them tears and get on up and do what you gotta do. No, people who was like, let it out. It's okay. It's okay. You need this moment, have this moment. And then they can just remind you, you're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can. It's not perfect. It's not expected to be perfect. Like, yeah, you may make some major mistakes that, you have to live with or whatever. But, the thing is that you wake up tomorrow and hope that the day is better. That's what I told somebody recently when I was talking to them and they was going through some shit. Excuse my French. They were like, I said, I'm not going to tell you nothing, but that I hope you wake up tomorrow and your day is better.
Yeah.
All I need you to do is wake up tomorrow, because tomorrow is another day. And I can't promise that day will be good, but it's another day. So you can be optimistic that it could be, and I just think that as us Black women, as we learn to support one another, then the vulnerability can come with certain people that you feel comfortable with. If you have one person that you can be vulnerable with, that you can talk to, that you can confide in with no judgment, then that is what you need. If you are that friend, now I'm talking to them friends who be telling people, dry your eyes, girl, get up, pick up off that floor. You better get them kids, cook that food, go out there.
You'll be all right.
You gonna be all right. Stop. I'd rather you don't say nothing. Just be like,
just sit there and listen. Yep. Just sit there and listen. Yep.
Just do that. Don't give your empowerment sister girl roll up and you can't have a bruised speech.
Right. That gotta go. Like that. Like, listen, let me be sad. It's okay. Like you said, sitting in your emotions is healthy. Like we see all the healthy things about emotions as negatives, and that shit is just, excuse my French, is wild to me. Like, let me be in my feelings, let me be emotional, let me be sad, let me feel hopeless about. I know I felt hopeless about a lot of things. Like, if you don't know what's going on, what's gonna happen in life. I hate not knowing like where life is headed and stuff. It's like you just get in this, like, I just be in my feelings. Like, just let me sit there. I don't want to hear this. Oh, you'll be okay. You're gonna be all right. You can make it. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. Just sit there and let me be emotional about it. Okay, let me work through these emotions. But what you were saying, just like that article was saying, our refusal to be vulnerable is also going to kill us, because we're going around hurting on the inside, keeping our pain silent, because we also learn how to silence our pains and what's hurting us and what's harming us and who's causing it. So we learn to silence our pain. So we're walking around hurt as hell, putting on these fake smiles when we go out. Okay, I'm about to go to this cookout. Let me just, hi, I'm doing fine. But and then the whole thing about it is, if this is especially family family get to whispering anyways, because we all know we all got family. Ain't nothing really kept a secret in family, especially in a black one. Because if you tell one person, the whole family gonna know anyways. Not saying that that's right, but that's the case. But we go around putting on these guises and putting on our image. We present ourselves. I'm here. I have arrived. I'm a strong black woman. Hi, you guys. I'm doing fine. I'm okay. I'm great in life. And you're not. You're struggling, and it's okay. It is okay to struggle. Also, because you were saying about not everyone takes to therapy or it's not for them and they may not like that route. I would say over like, okay, let me call my friend to talk to or so and so, or I'm struggling with the kids, like you were saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to call somebody and let me reach out to everybody. Every number I have in my phone, can you just come and get them, take them for a few hours, watch them for me? I just need a break from these kids. Okay. Sometimes, even if you don't want to, reach out to that person that you know would probably be best suited for this scenario, even if you may not really like that person, or you might not, especially family, you might not get along with that person. I don't want to fuck with that person, but that person will be the person to call and to reach out to. Reach out to that person. Use your resources. Reach out to the best fitted one for this situation and this scenario that's going to help you and help you get through it.
The problem is, and I'm going to say it for somebody who's probably thinking that right now. I don't want to ask nobody to do nothing for me because I don't want nobody thinking that I owe them. Okay, sister girl, I know, queens, I know. It's somebody out there who's saying that. I don't got nobody, and ain't nobody gonna do nothing for me. And anyways, I don't want nobody thinking that I owe them nothing.
Prideful.
You're being a strong black woman. You're doing it.
That junk is kicking our ass. That's why, listen, the strong black woman must die. Like I said, that junk is going to kill us. It's going to take you to, listen, being a strong black woman, like, we're talking about all the cons. One of the top two ones for me is, no, the top three ones for me. Depression, because it will have your behind in the depressive state. Stress, because it will have your behind stressed the hell out. Anxiety, you will feel it. You will have a lot of anxiety. Being the strong, I can do everything. I have my cape on. I'm a superwoman. Oh, four things. And exhaustion. And I think I experience the fourth thing the most. I'm exhausted. Okay. The exhaustion. That's why I always go on vacations, child. Anytime. I mean, true story. Anytime that I can get away and I can get away. I can get away from it all. Even if it's for a few days and like put away the phone. I'm just away. I'm just chilling. I ain't got a care in the world for those moments, those 2 days, that 1 day, that 3 days, however many days. I am just as happy as a clam. So I can just imagine if I could just take that feeling and embody it all the time. That freeing feeling, whatever it is that y'all like to do and experience, that freeing feeling that you get when you have that moment of peace is priceless. Like if we could just jar that up and put it in a bottle and open it anytime you need a dose, baby, it's like, come on now.
My thing is, to be vulnerable, you have to trust. And one of the things that is very hard to do, and respectfully, I truly understand, is to trust people. People are not very trustworthy anymore. Okay? People are lovers and servers of themselves, and people do not want to help others. I truly understand that. So I understand why, even more today, that strong black woman is kicking out, because we are in survival mode. We are, as a people, period. But especially women, we're trying to put on a strong front with so many things, from relationship hurt to hurt in the workplace, family hurting each other, friends hurting each other. It is a very toxic society as a whole, collectively right now, with a lot of different things. But what I will say is, all you need is one good person. If all they can do is give you a listening ear, I hope and I wish and I desire and I pray that people will at least have one person, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
you are struggling financially and you can't just jump on the road and go on a trip, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe you can get the kids put in the bed and run yourself a bath and listen to a meditation. They have free stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. Free apps to a certain extent. I actually pay for one that I listen to. Um, I don't know. You can do yoga for free at home. Like they have stress and anxiety yoga where you can stretch your bodies in different ways that will literally release endorphins in your body. Massages are very therapeutic. Aromatherapy is
Mm-hmm.
very therapeutic. There are a lot of things that you can do to ease some of the tension. And if you can't talk to nobody else, I mean, not everybody is religious, but sometimes if you need to talk to God because He is the only one that you can tell your deep darkest to that won't go talking about your business because it's way too deep,
Mm-hmm.
then you do that. You know, because I just know that sometimes certain things people are going through, they don't feel that they can talk to anybody about, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And I know that that makes you put on the exterior. There are people who are dealing with very, very, very bad health problems and things that they just can't talk about with nobody, you know? And I just know that um, what I desire for us women and for myself, like, is to have a self reflection moment. And I know me, maybe it's good or maybe it's bad. It just depends on the energy of the people who I'm surrounded by at the time. I will go into isolation sometimes. And I know
Yeah.
maybe that's not always good, but sometimes it is good for me. It gives me a time to recharge. It gives me a time to self reflect. It takes the pressure off of me having to put on and even say I'm fine to people who I don't want to tell my business to.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a topic that I specifically wanted to talk about because it's something that I feel personally in my life I'm struggling with right now. I'm feeling like I'm going through so many different things in my life that I have to put on this strong black woman persona because people, oh, how are you? How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? And you know, you're not gonna sit up there and be like, well, you know, today I
Yeah.
just felt like mashed potatoes that are being stomped on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to tell everybody how you feeling truly. Certain people know certain, and then sometimes you might get to a point where like you so exhausted, you can't even articulate or talk about it no more. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just living it, you know. And I do definitely, I definitely think that it can lead you to a depression if you're always holding the weight of the world on your shoulders and you never let nobody take a turn.
Child, stress builds up in the shoulders. And that is true. Shoot, bag ladies, listen, like don't carry the load. Like drop it off somewhere sometimes. Let it down. Put it to the side. It could wait. Take care of yourself. That's the biggest key I can say is like so important to be mindful of your mental health and where you are and like check in with yourself. Also, because you were touching on like those ideas about you, by the way, I was doing yoga for a minute like last year and I loved it like for other reasons because I have fibro, but I love doing the yoga. And you right, like afterwards, I always felt so good and so relaxed. And it was like over online. So I'm pretty sure you could find like an online yoga class or free ones on YouTube and just sit and get the stuff you need. Be in your living room. They sell
Mm-hmm.
yoga stuff at Five Below. Be in your living room and do your little yoga routine and your moves and stuff and stretch your body out and release the stress. Because stress, you can release stress through the body and through doing those movements or, like you said, going to
Mm-hmm.
get a massage. And also, like you were saying, you have nobody else to talk to, journaling, just getting that release out. So talking to your higher self or your religious person, God, Jesus, whoever, or journaling it out just to get that release out of how you're feeling on the inside. And you know that you can keep it to yourself. Obviously, if you don't feel comfortable, like you said, talking to somebody else, you can just get it out. Sometimes, even if, like, when I used to journal and write a lot, I would go back and read that back too, because sometimes, especially when you're doing a lot of writing, you be so in the zone of what you're writing, you yourself might skip over and miss, like, oh, I wrote, or you might get aha moments within the message that you wrote out and as you were expressing yourself on paper and writing it out. So I always go back and read through my journal pages because you might get something yourself from reading your words and what you're putting out on paper and expressing. So yeah, anything to get it off your chest is going to be healing and a good thing for you. And just be kind to yourself. We can't do everything.
Yes, and release that pressure. Release that pressure, because having all that pressure and tension and stress and obligation and all, it literally is linked to chronic disease.
Mm-hmm.
The high blood pressure, diabetes that runs rampant in our community, cardiovascular disease. You're at a greater risk when you suppress your emotion.
Yes, like, because where's it going? It's gonna go somewhere in the body. It's going to start manifesting itself in the body somewhere because you're not releasing it.
We need to learn how to cope with our problems in a healthier way than acting like they don't exist. Right. That's the whole point of this podcast. Stop acting like your problems don't exist. Like, one of the things that I have noticed that has been a big topic now in the Black community, and I'm seeing a lot of people on TikTok, YouTube talk about postpartum depression. Like, in the Black community, I don't even think we recognized that years ago. Like, girl, you better pick that baby up and keep moving.
She'll just be all right.
She'll be all right. Oh, yeah, she'll be all right. Oh, she not acting like she like that one like that. You better pick that baby up and do what you need to do. Mm-hmm. Now we're realizing that, guess what? We can suffer from that too. Mm-hmm. We can have a weird sort of detachment from our babies, and you're like, what is it about this one? I know I love this one. I know, like, or your emotions are out of whack, or you're feeling weird. Like, I have noticed, and I'm commending a lot of Black women for realizing that postpartum depression does exist in our community. And a lot of people are making a big awareness about it, because you just hate to hear those stories about some mother who snapped and, and harmed her children and stuff, and nobody saw it coming, and, or people just ignored that she was sad or detached from her child or something like that. So that's another thing. Please, watch yourself and know when you having feeling weird,
right? Or you're struggling with your emotions,
or you feeling triggered. You're popping off at everybody, because what I found was anger. A lot of people are like, oh, anger is an emotion, but I learned anger is a secondary emotion. Mm-hmm. There's a root cause of anger. A lot of time, anger derives from hurt.
Yep.
And so when you find yourself angry, or you find yourself feeling like that, there's healthy anger, and then there's toxic anger, but you need to explore what is the roots of why you are conducting yourself or acting in a certain way, or what are your triggers and different things like that. Like, that all comes with not suppressing your emotions. Because if you suppress everything and walk around like you fine, oh, I'm good even when I'm not good. I'm known for saying that. I've said that. I'm good even when I'm not good. I'm a survivor. I could do this, honey. I'm gonna be fine. And then I might go home and be bust out crying all night. Anybody know? Listen, this is me and I are being vulnerable today. Even talking about this topic, because this is not a topic, we all know the benefits of being a strong black woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
You overcome adversity. You keep going even when the times get tough. Um, she makes $1 out of 15 cents or something.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what
you
Tupac
heard that
said.
one. Mm-hmm.
She's the matriarch. She was the rock of our family, grandma, big mama, all them. And fine and dandy. Yeah, we can get through some of the craziest of the craziest stuff. But let's not act like it wasn't hard.
Yeah, that's not like that didn't come at a cost. That came at a high. That's coming at a high cost and a high price. But yeah, that what you were saying, that's another trope. Like we still didn't do our podcast on misogynoir, but there's certain tropes, the strong black woman being one of them. And also what goes side by side with the strong black woman is the angry black woman. They so angry. Like as if whenever I hear somebody mention how black women are so angry, it's like as if we don't have things to be angry about. Like, where do you think the anger comes from? As if we don't have things to be angry about. We have a lot to be angry about. And the more and more she suppresses her feelings, the more and more she silences herself and not speak up or not speak on things or touch on things, something that happened to her. Or, you have women who are getting abused out inside of their homes behind closed doors. They don't say anything. They don't say anything.
But when they do say something, guess what? It's usually a whole repercussion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or how about the one who decides, she about to air it out. Oh, don't let that one get drunk. Don't let Auntie get. She about to air out the whole thing. She about to tell all the secrets. Why should we have secrets? But we have them because nobody wants to say anything. It's particularly the women in the family. It's silence. We have learned silence is golden. We have learned silence better than anything. So it's like sometimes it's the irony when I see us saying how real we keep it. Black people, we keep it real and we do this and we blunt and we this and we that and inviting people to cookouts and what other thing do we say that I think is so funny because it's like, oh, and speaking of the ancestor, because Juneteenth is about to come up, and I find that highly disrespectful at times when people say couldn't be me. Oh, I could. What? I am not my ancestors. Well, actually, to
People been saying that.
be technical, you are your ancestors because you ain't doing nothing either. You just in modern times, but really when it comes to even the adversities we face in America, the oppression and all of that stuff, we really aren't doing anything about it. We're just not on a plantation getting our ass beat. But what are we doing about it? What are we doing? We're not doing anything about it. We're not doing anything about our abusers within our community. We're not doing anything about it, about the people who might have wronged us within our families. We are not doing anything about it because we are so comfortable with being complacent, docile. Oh, we're so kind. Black people are we're these kind, loving people. We want equality, and that ain't work out for the best. We are so used to not doing anything and to being quiet and silent, especially Black women. And that's why we hold up this strong Black woman, this stoic face that we are unbreakable. All things can come at us and she is unbreakable. How about her mental though? Because I've done seen some things, you've seen some things, grandma done seen some things. They probably done been beat on, dragged, hair snatched out, working in the fields. From even way back then, we have been through so much savage atrocities done on us, especially Black women and girls. A stoic face. How? How are we surviving? How are we mentally okay with surviving or going through so much that we have gone through, even now?
How it's funny. That's real deep what you said, by the way. The strong Black woman goes way deeper than, oh, I could pay my bills and take care of my kids. How about the woman who has suppressed all of the things that has happened to her? Yeah, those secrets, those deep dark secrets like molestation in your own family, and you're still breaking bread and dropping your kids off at that same house where it happened. It's a lot of things that us as Black women sit up here and just suppress. and be silent about. But we're vocal about certain things. And yeah, what about the mental health? Then it's like, oh, she crazy. She yelling, she screaming, she got a problem. Oh, she something wrong with her. And it's like, she never dealt with that hurt little girl. She never dealt with whatever happened in that family that she saw. She never dealt with that racial discrimination that knocked her down the side that she dealt with. You know? So yeah. Okay, we strong. Yeah, we strong. At what cost though? At what cost?
Heavy cost, child.
There is, with every tear that was dropped by every ancestor, by everybody. And you know, when people say slavery, you know, oh, it couldn't have been me. You know what? Those were some strong people. They survived that. Could you?
Right.
Could you?
Not only that, to tell you the truth, these days, I think it's a lot of us that will sell us down the goddamn river.
Girl, you can't even say nothing to nobody no more.
Take those ones over there, because we getting. But you got the nerve to say that.
Most of these people couldn't even take being called out their name. So please believe they couldn't endure forced servitude. Okay? First of all, they couldn't endure that. They can't even stand being called out their name, honey. So my thing is this. Don't be strong about everything. Some things need to be addressed. Okay? Right. And handled. And be dug up. Mm-hmm. And some vulnerability needs to be reached so you can find peace with it, even if you never get the resolution.
Heal, yes.
And we can't heal as long as we sitting up here with this strong front.
Yeah, we keep it front at all times. We keep it together at all times. We hold it together.
But guess what? It's cracks where some people can see you ain't got it all together sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just saying. Some of the people who think they out here acting like they strong, it's coming out in other ways. It's coming out in other ways. Then comes the angry Black woman. But she ain't really angry. She trying to be heard.
Mm-hmm. She heard. And that, like, listen, not being heard will cause you to be angry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it may not be the best way to approach it. I feel that I don't know how we're going to overcome this, because this society and all the things that we have going on, it's still too unsafe. Like, we still don't have the time to be vulnerable and sit back and support, have the support that we need to truly let the mask down. You know,
you have a whole community that's so used to this being the system and the way things are, and then you have other people that's trying to now throw a monkey wrench in the game. Yeah, you're gonna get pushback and resistance from men and sadly from other Black women, even though y'all know it's killing us, but y'all still gonna get the pushback anyways because it's something that you're not used to. Like, take, for example, like, just like you're not used to seeing Black women specifically being vocal and speaking up, like we were just saying. Like, you can take it or leave it. I'm not saying that the lady's right, but take Monique, for example, in this whole hoopla, right? Now, I might not agree with some of the stuff that I've seen going on, but one thing that I did notice all the time when I was going through these comments and seeing what people have to say about it is, why is she talking? Like, she need to shut her mouth sometime. She always talking. She always running her mouth. So now, first of all, what we now know present date about the situation, she was rightfully right the whole time that she went off about what happened and occurred with her with Tyler Perry and Oprah and Lee Daniels. She was right. She was right. And Lee Daniels eventually came out, apologized a little too late, and validated that, you know what, we was wrong. I'm sorry. You were right. But all we said was, she need to shut up. She need to stop talking. She causing too much trouble. See, that's why her career ain't going to go nowhere, because she talked too much. She run her mouth too much. Now imagine if that's a little girl, like you were saying, or somebody who was odd or taken advantage of in the family or even in the neighborhood. she go running around and she's trying to tell anybody who will listen, because hey, maybe this little girl, she brave right now, she don't know that she's supposed to shut up, so she telling people, this happened to me, so and so did this, blah 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 blah. He could be a popular boy, or hell, he could be a member of the family, and the family just like, you ain't about to have our family looking bad. Don't say nothing about this again. Don't run your mouth. You need to shut up and be quiet. So we so used to not speaking and so used to being complacent and in this strong Black woman. And you know what? Because you were saying the trust factor, and like, yeah, it's going to be really hard for us to break through this barrier, because it's also putting on for others, like upholding that image. You have to be the perfect mother. Your kids have to look perfectly put together. Y'all have to present this perfect family. If you marry, you're supposed to be the perfect wife to your perfect husband, who could be running around a whole demon. You could be all the way unhappy and miserable, even in a relationship. But when y'all present yourselves to other people, y'all got to be on and perfect, because you are getting judged. I don't know why we'd be judging. I don't know what we judging, but you are getting judged. And that's what's in everybody's mind. They're going to judge us. So when we go out in front of each other, we wear these masks, and especially the women, we wear these, we got it all together, you know.
And you know what's the worst thing that I find? You know, if you see a woman, for instance, who was married for a long time, and then you see her, you know, maybe the husband's now out of the picture, she's raising her children, co-parenting, whatever she do. And people will be saying that, how's she doing that? How she keep that?
Judging.
Do she still got a job? Oh my gosh, how's she paying the bills without him? How long is she gonna keep that girl? We gonna see. Messy.
Or they don't even want you to be happy. If you done got out because they miserable themselves, you done escaped, you done got out, and now they looking at you with resentment because they want you to be just as unhappy as they are.
And it's just sad. It's just sad because you know what? Maybe sometimes people make it look too easy because you look too strong, but it don't be easy. Everybody has difficulties that are extremely challenging in their life, whether they want to admit it or not. You know, and I find that sometimes even, you know, our men, like, they so cold, like, to our pain. It's so sad. They don't even expect, like, oh my God, you break down crying, and from they look at you like you a alien from outer space.
It's
like,
not normal in our community.
Go home, ET. Is that a tear?
It's not normal in our community.
They can't give you no hug, don't know how to console you, nothing. They just sit there with their head down, like, wait, like they shouldn't even be looking at you crying right now. Like, this is something that should be in your closet.
Private, yeah, in private.
When they go to work somewhere.
In private.
Yeah, it's a really sad.
You're supposed to be breaking down in private, you see. In your closet, in the shower, when you're taking a shower, but never in front of people, not even him.
Queens, have you ever broke down crying in front of your man and he just looked like you a foreign object? Like, oh man.
Oh, they don't know what to say. It's uncomfortable.
Oh man, like, like, come give me a hug and give me a tissue, wipe my face, and say, baby, it's gonna be okay. Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, that's where, like, it seemed like a lot of times, right, when you really down and out, gut-wrenchingly in pain, where you want to go run right to and cry? Right to your mother in her bosom, don't you? Because she's probably the only person that understands how hard it is to be this strong, damn Black woman every day. It ain't fun.
We do it to ourselves.
But anyway,
guys too, we do it to ourselves.
We do, but hey, regardless of if you did it to yourself or not, if you in pain and you hurting, you entitled to them feelings. I don't care if you caused all of the pain and you got a million reasons why you need to rewind and go back and change, but you can't. You're still entitled to your feelings. I mean, even if you made mistakes that landed you in the situation you in.
Right.
I don't judge people. That's my personal thing. because you never know what could happen to you.
Right. Exactly.
Stranger things have happened.
It takes more strength, especially knowing our community and knowing how Black women are specifically. It takes more strength, I think, for someone to come out and recognize what they're going through, or admit, or be open about what they're going through and be vulnerable, especially as a Black person, especially as a Black woman, to be vulnerable than to hold up this front that they got it all together. Like, that takes a lot more strength to do that, for us to do that, to even to ask for help. That takes a lot, because I would just think, oh, how hard that had to be for her or for them to even ask. So why would you judge?
It is. Depending
They
on what
probably
you
went
need to
over
ask,
it in
that's
their mind.
very embarrassing.
To have to really get to that point, for us anyways, to get to where you feel like, oh, I'm rock bottom, I don't have any more options, I'm all out of steam because I'm exhausted, let me reach out for a lifeline. That took a lot for her to just do that. So don't, to get that smacking or that rejection from somebody. And then if you ask somebody and they like, I can't do it, then they can't do it. But where's the judgment in that? Why are you judging people?
And when I say, and when it and you know when the help is help or when you're enabling somebody, like, if it's somebody who's constantly every other week they need their bill paid and something, like, sis, what's the plan gonna be? Because I can't be your plan A, B, C, and D every month, okay? Like, or when it's enabling and somebody is just not doing what they're supposed to do versus somebody who is truly in need because they're trying, they in a bind, you we all can decipher them people that always in a bind, right? And it's like they never gonna be out no bind because they're not trying to be. They just robbing Peter to pay Paul and hustling Sue to pay Tom. You know what I mean? So you have to decipher, the help you give as well, right? But if somebody's good for it, or they are really struggling, try to do your best to point them in the direction of somebody, even if it ain't you, or some service or something that they maybe can look into. I feel that nobody deserves to have no one. I mean, I don't really care what they did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, within reason. But I just us women, we definitely need to support each other if don't nobody else want to support us. If you have that one friend that you can call and confide in, even if they can't, everybody can't be giving out money and stuff. Times are hard and inflation is kind of rough right now. But if you need somebody to talk to or whatever, designate one person that you can talk to that's non-judgmental. I know sometimes, I know it's certain people I wouldn't dare call and talk to because I would get off the phone feeling like a scum on the bottom of somebody's shoe, and that's not who you want to talk to when you're in crisis. Oh yeah.
I don't know what else I can tell you guys except for, listen, this is to our detriment. A lot of things, a lot of negative things manifest itself when we're trying to hold it together all the time. Like you was touching on in this article, is saying, the heart disease, cancer is linked to, all of this stuff, diabetes, psychological distress, of course, anxiety, all types of trauma. So it's not really looking good for us to continue to put on a guise that we got it all the time or that we can do everything. I can do, first of all, like, why would I want to do everything on my own? Like, I know, I've probably done said that too. Like, I could do it all. I got this. I can do it all on my, I know I can't. I cannot. You know what? I'm tired. I can't. I cannot unless I have to, and then that's a different story. If I have to, then I have to. But I can't. I can't do it all on my own. I cannot. I can't. I can't do it. Please come and help me. Please come and save the day, please, because I cannot do it all by myself.
Well, I would say that if you continuously want to be the strong Black woman, it will shorten your days upon this life, because you will find yourself, um, having some type of diseases or something that are stress induced, because nobody can do it all. Sorry, that's a myth.
Or what I think we might have touched on it when we was talking about mothers, but how I was saying how in also linked to the strong black woman has a lot to do with our medical care and us being able to recognize when we need medical attention. Like this book I was reading, and the author herself was like she had a stroke and she didn't even know she had this stroke. She probably felt a little tingle. I don't know how a stroke feels. Felt a little something and put it out her mind like, oh, I'm just feeling like I don't feel good today, and just brushed it aside and kept it on trucking. And then it got to the point where she started getting dizzy, and that was the only reason that drove her to go to the emergency room. And somewhere along them running these tests to figure out why this woman is dizzy, we don't understand because they wasn't registering a stroke or a heart attack or anything. She went to her regular doctor, and that doctor found out you had a stroke. We can't tell you when or at what point, but at some point in time, you had a stroke and you didn't even recognize it because you just kept on pushing. And how many of us probably done experienced physical pain and literally stuffed that down and probably woke up and went to work or continued to go to work for that whole week while you suffering through this physical pain, and you could and something could be wrong and we're just disregarding it because we're fine. I'm okay. I got it.
Yeah, or you caring for other people, so you don't got time to go take care of yourself. And a lot
Mhm.
of times when people are depressed, they neglect a lot of things about themselves, and definitely going to the doctor is one of them. When they're depressed, they just don't even want to deal with doing that. So,
Right.
um, yeah, I mean, definitely being a strong black woman, you still need to take care of yourself too, like, and I think that we kind of stressed that earlier. And then, like I said in another podcast, when we talked about self care and what do you do to take care of yourself. Um, yeah, you can be strong for the world, but make sure you are strong, because you can't help nobody else if you're not good. And I mean, I think that's what debunks the strong black woman thing. When you neglect yourself, you are no longer going to be strong, like, because eventually that's going to catch up to you. um but yeah, I think that we talked about most of the things. I mean, I don't think that we really need Aya to really talk about the benefits of being a strong black woman, because we all know what
Right.
that is. Oh, no matter, you triumph through whatever difficulty and whatever fate you're stuck with. Yeah, you get through it because you're strong. And mm-mm.
Yeah, definitely pushed us along and made us driven, hard workers. We're the most educated, as they say. We're going into entrepreneurship at faster rates and opening businesses more. Like we are, like, definitely it made us go getters. It made us go out there and get it, no matter what level of lifestyle you're at. Best believe every black woman that I know is a hard worker and strong and fiercely independent and go out there and do what they need to do, get it out the mud. Like, yes, it made us all of those things. And those things definitely can be used to our advantage. And I have used those things to my advantage. Absolutely. But then we also have to just recognize the heavy price we also pay for those things when you come home from working. I used to know this lady who I don't even know how she did it. She used to work double after them people like they killing the doubles, killing every day, double after. Like, I know you coming home and you just falling right into bed. No energy to do anything else, nothing else but
Right.
sleep. And when do you even get time to spoon your kids? But yeah, like, so of course that was to our advantage, but it was also a disadvantage. And when it also comes to relationships, it's also to a disadvantage because black men just feel like they don't need to take care of us. Like it's just simple and plain as that. They feel like they do not need to take care of Black women. Y'all got it. Y'all strong. So, in a lot of relationship issues that I know that I've had over the years, I remember I had this one boyfriend, and he was the only one that told me this. So I don't know if any others felt this way, but I remember we was in Walmart, and I don't know what I did to make him mad. I don't know what I said or what I was probably being aggy. I don't know, but I don't know what I did to make this boy mad. But he just was like, he stopped and he grabbed me by my shoulders and like did a little shake, and he was like, "You can't control everything. You can't control me. You can't control everything." I didn't have no, I didn't know what to say to that. Like I didn't know what to say to that. I really didn't. Like how do I don't even think we know how to relinquish the control. To step aside to allow someone else to have even a little piece of the pot, just a little piece of the control. I don't think we know how to do that. But yeah, it just stopped me in my tracks. I didn't really know what to say or how to respond to that. But you can't control everything. You have to let something go, especially when you're trying to be in a relationship. I can tell you right now, I know probably a lot of our problems is us being bossy or controlling, or that hyper independence kick in. And when you are trying to call yourselves being in a relationship, that's a partnership. There's no room for you to be this hyper independent, I got it type of person. It's this lady that I follow, and I don't even like her, but I follow her because I like her posts are hilarious. But she did post this one thing that clicked with me, and it was like a few years ago. And I think that's when I started to get that this strong Black woman is kind of working against us and not for us. And she said to women like who are working and tired of paying all the bills, y'all want a guy to help, blah 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 blah, right? Quit your job. That's all she said on the post. But for some reason in my mind, I got what she meant. Because
quit your job and do what?
I'm gonna explain it. I'm not saying I would quit my job, but I got what she meant by the post. She was talking about how to get these men to step up more, blah 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 blah, right? Because also a lot of strong women that we've seen, they tend to coddle. They tend to make life a little bit easier for these guys. They in what we always get dinged for, or I know elder women a lot get dinged for, emasculating these Black men, right? And I done seen men. Oh, I gotta send you. I can send you messages because I screenshot where guys are actually like admitting what they don't like. But I've seen men saying like the emasculation, and they don't like how you act like they can't do shit, or like their moms, or they talking about their moms and grandmas, like they acted like they couldn't do anything, so they babied them and coddled them so much so that it enabled them, right? So she was talking about how you want him to, you want him to take action and do and be this provider, this person. Quit your job. Because if y'all in a relationship and you quit your job, what is that going to prompt him to do? He's going to have to go out there and get it. Yeah, he's going to have to go out there and get it. Or he's going to have to work harder. He might have to get 2 jobs. He might have to start looking for a better job because you don't quit yours. And all I seen that as was like, right. Because, sometimes we exist so much in our masculine energy because we're strong Black women and we got everything. I got it. I'm doing it. And yes, baby, yes, you making boss moves. You are making boss moves. You got that car, you own that. You got that house, you bought that. You got this, you got it. Round of applause. All respect is due to a woman who has her own. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes, because I'm speaking specifically about relationships, when it comes to relationships, and then you bring a guy into the mix, into the fold of that, you're going to have to be willing to kind of like relinquish some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that control.
I agree with you because I feel that you can't be this strong Black woman to the point where like, no, you in my world and I'm the strong woman and I got my money and you ain't buying me nothing. I'm gonna pay for this and you gonna, what he there for? Because I know the guy gonna be like, listen, I was raised that I'm supposed to be a protector and provider. Like, cause that's really all they know. Okay, that I'm a protector and a provider, right? Like that's sort of in their nature of what they were supposed to do, right? And okay, yeah, because of different things in society, now women have become providers. But I don't care how much money you make. You still want that man to protect you.
You want him to do something, yes.
But you done emasculated him so bad.
Right.
He like, damn, you got it.
Yeah, he resents you.
Why would I do that? Why is he gonna even be motivated to be any type of protective with you when you doing every damn thing? You sitting up here, you been nailing everything down in your floor in your house. You know how to do your own damn oil. You take your own tire off. You paying for everything.
Oh my God.
And then you like,
yeah, you got it, boss.
You come over here and do it. He's just like, you ain't making him feel needed. And we all know men like to feel needed.
Oh, good child. They got to feel needed. Yes. And like, listen, I had a friend that told me that like they got to feel needed. Even if you like they need you to play that role. They got to feel needed. They got to feel like they are a valuable part of this system that works. They have to feel like their opinions and their voices matter. You're taking into what they're saying into consideration. They're valued, they're needed around the house. They have to feel that way because that's how men are built and set up. They have to feel that way or they're not going to work hard for you. So once you start playing it a little bit, playing that little dance song a little bit, you know, you start seeing them like, you know, because he, you know, she need me, like, you know. But if you got it, boss, you got it. Why do you got it? He could just sit back and play the PlayStation. Because you got it.
Why do you want to have it? Stop it. Let him do it. Why don't nobody feel like doing every damn thing? Stop it, ladies. She right. You right, Aya. That strong Black woman leads into hyper independence a lot of the time. And you acting like that can lead to hyper independence because you're acting like I'm strong and I don't need nobody and I got this and I get that you function that way, but a lot of times when the guy could step up, you have, like you said, made him so like now maybe you think he can't even do it because like you never gave him an opportunity. But that's the same way with a woman who's been a housewife forever. She might feel like she can't really exist out in the working world or whatever. But you know, I mean, I guess like that person you were listening to, Aya said, like, okay, well, if you quit your job, well, I mean, I hope he has something going on because that is a very scary thing to do.
And that is scary.
You're the breadwinner.
I got the extreme point. Like if you just fall off and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm just laying back on the couch. I'm just let the house burn and just watch. Just hold off. Let it burn and just hold off to see. Now, if he don't step up and, you know, don't show you, then there you go. But sometimes, like you said, a lot of times it's like you meet them at first, y'all going great. But then the more and more he start getting into your world and like y'all into this relationship, he starts seeing that, oh, like you won't let him be what he's there for to be. You got it. You got everything. And so they just fall back and just kind of be complacent after that. They just...
Well, maybe that's why us women complaining now about all these low effort men. Like these women that came out here like I can do everything by themselves. And then that's women who come out here like, I need you to come over here and change my side and put this stuff in my house and I can't reach that. They sit up here thinking they ain't gotta do nothing no more. Like I ain't with that. Listen.
Yeah.
There's things that I don't want to do that I would gladly give the duties to a man, you know, when that time comes. Right now, I am single, as they say it. And I just feel like, you know, when you don't have, I don't know. I'm not buying into, the strong Black woman every minute, every hour. Like, I don't think it's something that I foresee myself wanting to do, but hey, I know how to do it when I need to do it. And I guess that's what it is. That strong Black woman should be in the bag to pull out when you need her, but not be a way that you live your life every day. You know, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we basically covered anything, and not mention the comments. So I guess we kind of talked about a lot. I mean, I don't know if anybody felt anything else that they wanted to say, but I ain't seen nothing in the comments too much today. But like we talked about with strong Black women and entrepreneurship. So you know it's summertime, right, ladies? And you know a lot of people got the braids and stuff because I know it's hotter than some fish grease down here in Georgia. And so, you know, I still got my conditioner for sale, people, and I need y'all to buy some. And it's so good when the braids start itching, you put it right in your purse. So don't forget about my conditioner. Okay, I need some sales, y'all. The summertime is here. But
yeah, it's good too. My mom was just talking about your hair stuff.
She was?
Yeah, she's because I don't know. Did you post something?
Yeah, I just posted something.
Yeah, she was like, is UC back selling her stuff? I was like, yeah, I think so. I was like, yeah, she back selling her stuff. She getting it together now. She's like, oh yeah, she's like, because I did like how it worked for my hair, especially the twist outs. She said her twist outs.
Yeah, it's good for twist outs. It is. Yes, definitely. Yes, tell her and tell it is a much beautiful, more fresh, fragrant, stable. You know, thing. And what I was saying, what I've been noticing too, like, you know, the braids start itching a little bit, you know, I like to get some out and just put it right here in my purse and stuff.
See, that'd be my problem. That's why I can't keep raising my hair, because it's like, oh, I can't take the itch. It be
the
itchy.
itch. This helps with the itch. That rosemary in it helps with the itch, but it's not overpowering the smell. Now, like, you know, with the way I had stabilized the formula. So yes, I need you guys to get some conditioner. Give it a try. It's good for natural hair. It's good for your purse. It's good for dreads. You know, especially the type of person you don't like your dreads to have a lot of buildup and gel in it. You're more like a free former. But yeah, so I need you guys to get some of this conditioner while I still got some. Okay. But yes, what we about to do now? We doing the takeaway yet, or what we talking about?
Yes, let's do the takeaway, because we've been out here, and I think you guys kind of get the point about why we need to kill the strong Black woman. We could kill the angry Black woman right along with her, but we need to kill the strong Black woman, y'all. We got to let it go. I don't want to see no more posts. This is my takeaway. Let me go on my takeaway rant. I don't want to see no more posts talking about how strong of a Black. I don't want to see it. I don't want to go on Facebook tomorrow or IG seeing no memes about how strong and fierce you are as a Black woman. I don't want to see it on Juneteenth about how strong Black women. I don't want to see it, because there is nothing wrong. There's nothing honorable about being this strong, fierce Black woman. Yes, all women need to be strong and independent and on her grind as a woman, as a woman in general, as a female. I want y'all to be strong. And I want y'all to be fierce. I want y'all to be unapologetic in who you are as an individual. I want y'all to not be afraid of life and not be afraid of experiencing life. I want y'all to be go-getters, and I want y'all to be motivated to do things. However, I don't want y'all to feel like y'all have to carry the weight of everything on your shoulders. This is especially important for Black girls, for Black women, Black girls. You do not have to do it all alone. You do not have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You do not have to act as if everything is okay all the time. I think we're starting to get it, though, in our generation, because when you think about raising girls, for those of us who have girls, I know for me, I don't want my kid, I don't tell them that rhetoric. I don't tell them you have to be a strong Black woman, you have to be independent. I don't feed that into them. I just want them to be free Black girls. Can you picture and imagine free Black girls? I just want them to be free. I just want them to be themselves. I want them to develop into their own person. I want them to know that they don't have to have it all together. I want them to know all of those things, to know the sky is the limit. I want them to be free. I don't want them to carry all of this restrictions on their back and their shoulders, and I don't want that for them. So I think we are starting to get that, and we're raising our girls different. But yeah, you guys, we have to kill the strong Black woman. She gotta go. It was fun while it lasted, but that's all I gotta say.
Oh, that was good. Gosh, what did I say after that? Okay, so I want to say when it comes to the strong Black woman concept, it is admirable to have strength and to be able to overcome obstacles. But when you don't necessarily overcome them and you're just dealing with them and you're coping with whatever cards you were dealt or the fate that has happened in your life, I want you to be able to cope with that in a healthy way. I think that it is strength in being able to be vulnerable. I think it is strength in being able to admit that you need help sometimes. I think that you are a strong Black woman when you are able to show people that, yes, I did hit rock bottom, or I cried, or I felt all of this, but guess what? I was able to wake up the next day and go on, but I still felt what I felt. I think that we need to look at the strong Black woman in that type of mindset instead of being like, I'm strong and nothing bothers me. Because that is not a fact. That is not reality. Things do bother us, and it's okay. No one is perfect. No one is expected to be. There is no written SOP or manual on exactly how life is supposed to go. And society puts too much pressure on us to always have it together. And I just want you to identify who has been a support system for you. Who has been your support system? I want you to literally write it down. Who has been your support system? What is your biggest obstacle that you're dealing with or that you have had to cope with? And who has been your support system to help you get through that? Is it someone that you can call? They don't have to be right in your vicinity. Is it like a certain thing that you do? What are your things that you do to care for yourself? Those are the things that can help us debunk this myth of always being strong, no matter the pain, no matter the obstacle, no matter what we face. Because you know what? You're going to go to the doctor and find out you got freaking high blood pressure in a few minutes, or diabetes, or you're going to be sitting there eating stuff you shouldn't be eating and doing all types of things, suppressing those emotions. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. Okay? And I just want to say that my takeaway from today is that I realized I don't want to be strong all the time. I don't want to. And I'm not. And I don't always have it together. And I'm not going to front like I do. But what I will say is that I'm constantly a work in progress. I never judge another person for their circumstances or what they go through. And I will always I feel that I am a support system for other people. And I have my support system in some people as well. And I just want to send much love to you, Queen. And I thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you tell a friend, and we can continue to let these conversations grow and be healing for each other.
And you guys, if you have a topic that you would like us to touch on, or if you want to come on and discuss a topic, because you guys can come on the show, then let us know in the comments below, and we will read them and see what we can do. But until next time.
Bye. Love you.